Hey, yo, what is going down with it once again? Ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys and fangirls, and of course, as always, otakus and hikikomoris out there is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo's only free 2011, aka Manny Wolverine, and of course, you guys in the rest intros and outros towards this channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, all that good stuff. Oh, and also, before I do begin, I gotta give, as crazy as this shit sounds, excuse me. I gotta give a real quick shout out. I think it was to IGN that talked about this thing before. As much as less of a fan as I really am about those guys over there at the article place, because my own personal opinion, they honestly really don't give a shit about the video gaming industry. They're a lot more busier, more constantly talking about like movies and like TV series. I really could give a rat's ass about. But yeah, I'm gonna give them a shout out anyways, even though granted they really don't deserve it. But until I found out about this information, so I know this is about a week old. I think it was like this past Saturday because this was when Comic Con was going on and all that. So it says the 23rd, but I'm doing this on a Saturday, so whatever. So shout out to Tara Bleer. I'm gonna be talking about that. So this is pretty much all Nintendo news here. So if any of you guys are just Microsoft or PC fans, you probably not gonna care about this video. But if you are a Nintendo fanboy or fangirl out there at heart, yeah, by all means say. And then one of my all-time nostalgia favorite old school racing games, Nickelodeon Kart Racers, has been announced for the Switch with SpongeBob, Rugrats, and more. Granted, SpongeBob's been around for what, since 1999. That's what, 19, 20 years he's been around? Like, holy shit. And that and the Fairly Odd Parents, I think those are like the only two cartoons I know have been around since I was like a freaking late 90s kid. Like, holy shit. I don't know why Nickelodeon can't come up with any other cartoon. I know there was this other one that came up with like 2 years ago. I think it was called like the Screaming House or the Loud House. I don't know. I don't watch that many Americanized cartoons anymore because number one, I'm a grown man, so I don't really have time for that shit anymore like I did when I was a '90s and 2000s kid teenager at the time. Because I got work, I got bills to pay, I got a couple of events to like go to and shit occasionally once a week when I'm hanging out with the roommates here and there. But I mean, back then I had a lot more time, but now I don't. So it's grown up adult responsibilities. For my younger audiences out there, you'll know what that's like the second you hit 18 or maybe 20 or 21 or whenever your parents kick you out the house. I don't know. I haven't seen my parents. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna say 10 years. I haven't seen them in like a couple months. And the last time I saw him was like in May, so like 2 months ago when I went to like go to Boston to this family reunion. But other than that, I don't really get to see them that much, anyways. Unless sometimes they're fucking assholes, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, as far as that goes, yeah. So shout out to Ryan Craddock for making the article. But let's get on to the first news right here, because this is some important shit. Another video game is getting turned into a movie. If I would have seen this as a 90s kid, I think the only ones I had when I was still in the adolescence and teen years was they had it for Doom and they had it for the Super Mario Brothers movie. And granted, I was what? I think I was like a baby when that came out, like 3 or 4 years old, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So I didn't see it until I was about, I think, 6 or 7. It's like the mid-late 90s because one of my favorite actors, this really funny Latino dude named John Guizamo. And by the way, his mouth is filthy as shit, but he's a really, really funny ass guy. The dude that played Luigi next to the late Bob Hoskins, because I know he died a couple years ago. I made a video on that I think back in 2012 on my older channel. Links down below if you want to watch that. Yeah, today, friends, enough of me rambling. There was that. I remember in the early mid 2000s, there was that Doom movie that had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it at the time. I think that's when he was just barely starting to make movies, and we already know how much of a shit show fest that shit knows. Now, don't we? But anyways, I think it was like 13 or 14 when that one came out, and that one wasn't as bad as the Mario Bros. Movie, but the storyline for it was fucking garbage. Granted, it had The Rock in there, but it didn't make any sense to the game. And I've played a couple Doom PC games here and there. Not that many, because when I was a 90s kid, I didn't have internet and I didn't have a computer until like, I think 2002 when I was just barely hitting 13 at the time. So it's going to be almost 18, 19 years since I've been on the internet. Almost 2 decades of my life. Isn't that wild? So, Shout out to Tara Bailey for making this thing. Let's get on to this because I already vented for like 5 minutes, so you probably can skip the first 5 minutes of this video if you're not watching this. Real short article, but I still want to talk about it. It says, with the Metal Gear Solid movie on its way, IGN got to chat with the director Jordan Vogt Roberts, there we go, about the project at San Diego Comic-Con. During the interview, he spoke to how a Legend of Zelda movie would play out onto the big screen. This is what the words of his own mouth. That big giant dude that has a giant Led Zeppelin looking giant freaking like beard. So he goes to say, it's that guy. The thing about Zelda is not Lord of the Rings, right? You cannot forget how quirky and bizarre Zelda is. I think you need to find a way to actually fuse the traditional Zelda and to the very new Zelda, says Vogt Roberts. I don't know if it's Vogt or Vogt Roberts. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm just going to call him, what's his name? Jordan Roberts. That's easier. So it says, I think you have to find a way to very intensely fuse, for the pure just of sort of fantasy of the Ocarina of Time, however you say that. I think it was always Ocarina of Time. And the Link to the Past. But then I think you need to find a way to incorporate the new pseudo-tech stuff. You know, the lasers and Tron lines that happen in the newer games. But in a way that's not overwhelming, he added, unquote. The full interview can be viewed down below. Let us know what your thoughts on what he said. Whether or not you even want to see a live action Zelda movie. They already tried doing that with Netflix. I don't know if it was good or not, or if they held it back, because I normally don't really watch a lot of Netflix stuff. It's not my cup of tea. Not saying it's a bad thing, but stuff like Stranger Things on there, and what else was on there? Santa Clarita Dies. Like, I really don't give a crap about stuff like that. Because, number one, I'm not into like nasty, fucking, disgusting cannibalism shit. Number two, there's a reason I don't like Stranger Things. I'm not going to get into that because it involves a lot of, a couple trigger words I'm not going to say, and it pisses me off. Because the truth community knows what I'm talking about. Because they've already exposed a crap ton of stuff about what Stranger Things was really about, which I'm not going to get into. That sounds like a lot of 80s nostalgia I'm not really going to understand because, I wasn't alive during the 80s. I was alive in the 90s, so there's that. I mean, I've seen a couple, like, escapades and a couple, like, references to 80s stuff, but not all of it's really interesting, except for a few stuff like Iron Giant, Back to the Future, The Gremlins was really cool in the 80s, for Freddy Krueger shit was cool. A couple stuff in the 80s was alright, just not all of it was really appealing to me. Some of it was, like, I mean, Back to the Future came out in the 80s, and a lot of movies were really, really cool, like Ghostbusters, Alien, The Predator, the Rocky Balboa movies are really kick-ass, but like, as far as that culture goes, in the 80s, I don't know. Any of my older subscribers that were alive during the 80s, maybe you guys have a better aspect of it, because, I mean, I was born in 89, but I didn't remember anything at that time, so there's that. But other than that, that's all I gotta say. My overall thoughts, views, and opinions on this, to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing a Legend of Zelda live action movie. I mean, Link, he's an alright character. I was never really crazy about this guy at all. Because he always made like those little like grunts and mells like, yeah, 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 that type of thing. He doesn't ever talk. So, but Zelda, that's a whole other thing. At least they gave her a voice in Breath of the Wild. And I'm glad as shit they finally did. And the only other girl I thought that was a lot hotter than Zelda was the other chick, Minda. The human form, not the elf demon form that she had. I mean, that one was alright too, but not to get extremely sexual, perverted. Human Minda was like a billion times fucking hotter. I'm sorry, she was a lot cuter than Zelda was. My own personal opinion, and I'm gonna get a lot of Legend of Zelda fans out there are gonna get on my ass about that, but I'm sorry. Minda was just a lot more fucking hotter. She honestly was. I don't know if it's because back in the day, I was really into like a lot of emo and scenester chicks, and when I was still in high school back in those days, like the mid-late 2000s, I dated a shit ton of emo and punk girls, and holy shit, they were hardcore as fuck, man. And I'm not going to talk about how the sex was because, I don't want YouTube to take down this video. Let's get on to the second one before I start perving out. So yeah, I heard about this game before, Paladins. I think this is supposed to be like the Nintendo Switch version of what Overwatch is or Fortnite. Even though they got Fortnite on the Switch, but it ended up being extremely shitty. I'm not going to try to read the whole thing because I'm lacking time. Well, actually, no, I can. It's really short. So it says Nintendo Life, Rugrats, SpongeBob, and more. Gamer Me Entertainment today has announced that Nickelodeon Kart Racers is an all-new game that will be available for the Switch later on this year. And I said Nintendo. Nickelodeon Karts, there we go. Kart Racers is a multiplayer console racing game that features iconic Nickelodeon animated characters from the likes of SpongeBob SquarePants, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and more. Actually, they're wrong there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was a Fox Kids TV character. That wasn't a Nickelodeon character. I'm just saying. As they race on 24 different slime-themed tracks and they become champions for the children's TV. Tracks include Bikini Bottom, New York City Sewers, Tommy Pickles' House, Arnold's School, and more. The game allows players to compete as their favorite characters in the 4-player local multiplayer, single player, and battle mode to win the cups and kart upgrades. Mark Meadows, partner of the Game Mill, I think it was Game Me or Game Mill Entertainment, has said this about the following releases. This is coming from the man that created this game. We are thrilled to be partnering with Nickelodeon and bring back all these amazing characters into one fun, competitive video game for fans all ages to enjoy. And he is damn right about that. So for the kids nowadays, they probably have no idea what SpongeBob and Hey Arnold is. They know Hey Arnold and Rugrats are. They might know who Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is and SpongeBob is because those two are still around, but it is what it is. Nickelodeon has created characters and stories that are loved around the world as we specialize in transforming treasure characters and stories into playable entertainment for the die-hard fans and casual gamers alike. Unquote. This game is currently scheduled to arrive on a Switch on October 23rd, okay, with a recommended retail price of $40? Really? Oh, shit, okay. That's a freaking steal. Usually they're like, what, $60, $70 for a lot of the Switch games? But $40, okay. Does this one take your fancy? Do you want to know any little ones who would be all over this? Let us know with a comment. Okay, so Nickelodeon Kart Racers, like games. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions. I'm really hoping they bring the other characters back there. There wasn't just Arnold, Tommy Pickles, SpongeBob, and Patrick. Or even the other dude, what was his name? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They didn't have that in the original one. They had a cat dog in there. They had a lot of the Real Monsters characters. Ren and Stimpy was in there. I think Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life was a speed racer in that game too, along with Spunky, Heifer, the other dude Filbert that was like dude they used to say, I'm nauseous. His girlfriend was cute as hell, by the way. The one that had like the cat for a hook. She was funny as hell, man. I think her name was Hutcherson, Dr. Hutcherson. She was freaking awesome. And what other Nickelodeon's characters had in the night? I think Angry Beaver's characters, Daggett and Norbert, were in there. And then I think, I might be wrong in this, but I think they might have what was the other? The Wild Thornberrys characters, I think they were in there too. I think Eliza, Debbie, the little I forgot his name. Darwin. I think Darwin was either the little chimpanzee or the little crazy wild boy. And Debbie. Holy shit, Debbie Thornberry. Woo, I could go on for hours talking about her. She was such. Back when I was a 90s kid, I didn't even know what the hell porn was. I'm not gonna lie, that chick was freaking hot, man. Debbie Thornberry was the shit back in the day. If she was like a racer in this game, that would be. She was pretty much how I saw how Android 18 was for Dragon Ball Z. Cute, thick, gorgeous piece of ass. I know I'm probably gonna offend a lot of feminists, but I don't give a fuck. Too bad. Fuck them. And then that's all I gotta say. Brand new Metal Gear Solid and the Legend of Zelda live action movie coming. That would be kick ass, and hopefully it happens. And one of my nostalgia favorite games of all kind makes a return. That's awesome. That's it. Peace out once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls. And of course, as always, OTakus and hikikomori out there. I'll see you when I see you. Guys, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're at around the world. Stay tuned for more future article session reviews like video gaming industry news, anime manga news, and internet news. And once the time comes around the corner, outdoor chat and breeze vlogs. Late and goodbye. I will see you on the flip side. I'm gone and I'm out.